According to the U.S. Census Bureau, between December 2022 and December 2023, Washington saw a net loss of approximately 913,600 people to other states. This translates to nearly 2,503 departures daily. Unveiling the 6 reasons people are leaving Washington. 6. Homeless crisis. According to the 2023 point-in-time count, Washington saw a staggering 11% increase in its homeless population, reaching a total of 163,200 individuals. This represents a 52% increase since 2013 and a troubling trend. In 2023, Washington ranked 4th in the nation for total number of people experiencing homelessness, and had the 6th highest homelessness rate in the nation, with an estimated 192 people experiencing homelessness per 10,000 residents. This signifies a 27% increase compared to just 4 years prior. According to World Population Review's 2024 estimates, Washington has an estimated 30,376 chronically homeless individuals, out of a total homeless population. This means roughly 19% of Washington's homeless population falls under the category of chronic homelessness. In 2018, Washington had 10,158 chronically homeless individuals, which was 11% of the state's homeless population at that time. This suggests a possible increase in the number of chronically homeless people in recent years. Washington ranks high in refugee resettlement, welcoming thousands annually. Federal support for these families ends after a few months, placing a strain on already limited affordable housing options. Asylum seekers often wait years for a decision on their case, during which time they may be restricted from working or accessing certain benefits. This prolonged period of uncertainty can make it difficult to secure stable housing and income, pushing them towards homelessness. 5. High cost of living. According to Rent Cafe, the overall cost of living in Washington sits at 17% above the national average. Housing, unsurprisingly, is a major driver of this disparity. The state's median home price is 29% higher than the national benchmark. This translates to a stark difference on the ground. In Seattle, the state's most expensive city, the cost of living climbs to a staggering 45% above the national average, with housing costs reaching 24% higher even compared to the rest of Washington. For a concrete example, consider a one-bedroom apartment rental. The national average rent for such an apartment sits around $1,000. In Seattle, however, the average rent for a one-bedroom unit can easily reach $1,800 or even higher. This significant increase creates a financial burden for renters, and makes homeownership an even more distant dream for many Washington residents. Beyond housing, other necessities also contribute to Washington's high cost of living. Groceries and clothing are roughly 13% more expensive in Washington compared to the rest of the country. While this might seem like a smaller increase than housing, it adds up over time, especially for families on a budget. 4. Rising state taxes. One undeniable fact is the substantial growth in state tax collections. A report by the Washington State House Republicans highlights that since 2014, collections have more than doubled, reaching $36.4 billion in 2023. This translates to a significant increase in the tax burden borne by Washington residents. A prime example of a recent tax increase is the capital gains tax implemented in 2022. This tax applies a 7% rate on capital gains profits exceeding $250,000 per year, targeting wealthier individuals. Proponents of the tax, such as the Washington Budget and Policy Center, argues that it affects a small portion of the population and generates revenue for crucial investments in childcare and early learning. However, critics like the Washington State House Republicans argue that this tax, along with others like the payroll tax, discourages business growth and harms the middle class. They point to a decline in Washington's business climate ranking as evidence of this negative impact. The property tax situation further complicates the issue. While there's no recent increase in state-level property taxes, inflation has eroded the effectiveness of the existing property tax cap, placing a greater burden on local governments. This has led to concerns about strained county budgets and potential future property tax hikes at the local level. 3. Poverty. According to the Washington State Office of Financial Management, the overall poverty rate in the state hovered around 14.9% in 2022. This translates to roughly 1 in 15 Washington residents living in poverty. However, the data reveals a concerning trend. A slight increase from previous years. Research from the Washington Community Alliance suggests this rise is likely due to expiring pandemic relief measures and rising inflation. Examining demographics within the poverty data paints a more nuanced picture. Children are disproportionately affected, with a poverty rate of 16.2% in 2022. This indicates that 1 in 12 Washington children lives in poverty. Furthermore, racial and ethnic disparities are evident. While the overall poverty rate is 9.9%, Black and Latino communities face significantly higher rates, exceeding 18%, according to Talk Poverty. It's important to acknowledge a positive trend. Poverty rates among the elderly have declined significantly over the past few decades. Data from the Office of Financial Management shows a drop from 23% in 1969 to 15.2% in 2021. This improvement is likely due to the expansion and indexing of Social Security and Medicare benefits, which provide a financial safety net for seniors. 2. Traffic congestion. Washington, D.C., the bustling heart of American politics, is also unfortunately known for the frustration of its traffic congestion. While Los Angeles and San Francisco may take the top billing for most congested cities in recent years, Washington, D.C. consistently ranks among the worst nationally. According to a recent survey by TomTom, Washington, D.C. ranked as the second worst city in the nation for traffic congestion in 2023. This translates to real costs for commuters. A 2023 study by the Texas A&M Transportation Institute found that D.C. area drivers lost an average of 89 hours stuck in traffic in 2023. Placing them third nationally behind Los Angeles and San Francisco. That translates to wasted time, lost productivity, and increased fuel costs. 1. Crowded cities. The data paints a clear picture of Washington's urban expansion. A 2023 report by the Washington State Office of Financial Management projects a population increase of 20% by 2040, with most growth concentrated in metropolitan areas. This translates to more people vying for the same space, with Seattle, for example, experiencing a population density of over 14,000 people per square mile. While density can foster a vibrant atmosphere, research suggests it can also contribute to feelings of isolation. A study published in the journal Social Science and Medicine found a correlation between population density and loneliness, particularly among young adults. The anonymity and fast pace of city life may make it harder to forge meaningful connections. This trend isn't inevitable. Washington can address the challenge of fostering community in crowded spaces. One solution lies in urban design. Creating public spaces that encourage interaction, like community gardens or pedestrian-friendly plazas, can provide opportunities for residents to connect. Additionally, programs that connect newcomers with established residents can ease the transition to urban life and help build social networks.